We've met all the players. There's been a lot of things written about it. I like to sit here and tell stories about each one of them. But what I'd like to do, just for a couple more minutes, is recap those 5 games and kind of our feelings going in. First of all, I really felt this year we're going to have a good basketball team. As you know, I think every team's my best team ever. And but I really thought I had a chance to beat. We lost 2 All-Americans. We lost Danny Mills. We lost 2 other kids, Alan Johnson, who was just a great 6-man for us. And then Sully, who didn't play much, was a great person. We lost 5 seniors, about 4,000 points. People didn't give us a lot of chance to do well. We got voted second, tied for second in the league by the coaches because they respected our program, and I thought that was nice. I thought we'd probably be voted about number 4. We needed some things to happen this year. One thing had to happen was Ryan Feige had to make the adjustment from being our point forward or our 5-man to being a point guard, which he played in high school. He got a lot bigger, and he's 6'7". He's a Magic Johnson type point guard. I worried a little bit about how he's going to handle a real pressure, but he was tremendous. He had 195 assists this year, which is in the top 5 of all time, and he did everything we wanted him to do. The other thing I was worried about is if he's playing point guard, that wears you down. And but we needed him to make the adjustment and be an all-conference kind of guy. I didn't know he was going to be the player of the year in the nation, but he made the adjustment. Another thing that had to happen was Juwan Hodges, who was a tremendous defensive player, drew 33 charges this year. Next closest was 8. I was going to wear a suit here tonight, but he wouldn't let me borrow. But I'll tell you, the guy in mask that had the green face and that suit. I don't know if you saw the movie, but that's what the guy told me, right? But Juwan had to be able to play some point guard, and he did okay last year, but his value points weren't real good. They weren't quite good enough to really count on him. At the start of the year, I thought he might be a backup and play 20 minutes or something, but he had a great fall. He had to make the judge. He was actually the 3rd leading rebounder in California, 10-team league in California. Averaged 7.4 rebounds at 5'8". And you've seen him jump. Doesn't surprise you, but he's more of a forward than he is a guard. Well, he played point guard this year, and he had to make that adjustment too, and he did a terrific job. But defensively back there, him and Nate the first day took on Falkenberg, a first-team All-American, held him 7 for 17, which was pretty darn good. The next game, we played Evangel College, and Kevin Rick taught our sponsor. I said, Rick, tell me the truth. What do you think the score was going to be? He says, Coach, I hate to tell you this, but I thought they'd win by 20. And he'd seen him, and he's really backs us, And I said, I kind of thought you felt that, But they had an unbelievable shooter, 126 3-pointers. He shoots the fall-away jumper like Ryan does, and we held him 4 for 17 in the second game. Third game, I'd say we held him, those guys held him. Third game, we played a team from Indiana. All those guys can shoot. We got beat by the Indiana team last year that came in 4th in their league this year. They had everybody back. Had a little guard, a great shooter. Had 122 threes. And they held him 2 for 15. Fourth game, we played Mid-American Nazarene. They had the player of the year from last year. In fact, that's probably who Ryan beat out. And Ryan should get part of his trophy to these 2 guys because they held him 5 for 14, and he's an unbelievable player, and just did a tremendous job on him. The last game they had a number 23, 6'3". These guys are 5'8" and 6'1", and they held him down 5 for 15. So they took on 5 guys that were All-Americans, 2 first-team All-Americans, a second team, a third, and an honorable mention, and they shot 27% for the tournament. But going into the games themselves, when we got there, we read the newspaper, and the team we played, Mount Vernon Nazarene, had this kid named Falkenberg, and he was questionable whether he was going to play. He had a plantar fasciitis or whatever you call it. If anybody's had that, it's a very tough injury. And he was on crutches when he got there. And we're hoping he's going to play because he's a great kid, and you don't want to win a game not when people aren't healthy. But if he didn't play, we'd get over it. But he's a great player, and he suited up. I think he got a cortisone shot in his foot, and came out and played. And I'll tell you, he knocked down a couple bombs and can play. But it was a game that people back there in the newspaper said that the guy picked Mount Vernon, to win the tournament. Then he decided to be Evangel. Of course, the first two teams we'd play would be Mount Vernon and Evangel. So it didn't look real good, especially when Rick Todd picked Evangel by 20. And so first game is a great basketball game. The first round out there is usually when teams are nervous. We've had some guys who were back, which really helped. But we won 74-71 in just a great 77-74 in a great basketball game. And after we won that one, it was so close to what happened in 2004. We needed to get by that first game, and I felt if we could win it. In 2004, we played the #1 seed in the nation. Very cocky fans. They thought, they already had shirts made up and everything. And we beat them, and our kids look forward to it. And these kids are looking forward to that. We had unbelievable. I just felt the focus and practice and everything. In fact, the guys wanted to go hard. We don't go hard usually game day, but they taped up and they wanted to go hard. And we went hard, not too long, but we got after it, and we jumped out to 15-0 lead. Now this is the strangest game I've ever coached in my life. We're up 15-0, and your fans are probably smiling back home, but we turned it around. And so what happened? We at the 10-minute mark, they're great teams. They cut it to about 22-21, and all of a sudden, I look down the court, and Ryan's laying there on the floor. And he's there for about 2 minutes, and then the trainers come out, and all of a sudden I hear the crowd go, ooh! I guess they popped his knee back in, and so that was thrilling. And so I thought he might have just a little sprained ankle or something. Of course, Ryan's pretty tough. He wouldn't have laid there that long. And they carried him off the floor, he's like this going off the floor. And so they take him in the dressing room, and I said, guys, get over here. We played without Ryan before. Let's get after it, and we can still get this done. And I felt we could. Ryan, if you had one sucker, he wouldn't have been there. But I thought the kids went out there and competed like crazy. We had kids knock down. Nate hit a 3 in a great drive. Joel played a lot of minutes coming back in for Ryan. We had guys pick it up. And we were down 1 when Ryan left. We were down 2 when we went into halftime. And I went in, I remember seeing Ryan there on the bench. Kind of had a semi-smile on his face, and I thought, I kind of said, well, gosh, Ryan, we're really sorry what happened. I thought he was gone, no question about it. He said, Coach, I'm going to play. It did pick my spirits up a little bit, and because I was coming in trying to figure out how the rotation would go. Mike, Coach, and I were walking in together, and how are we going to do this? Which way can we go? And that made it a little bit easier. And we went on and had a great victory over a great basketball team.